Abraham Lincoln. 87 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. A house divided against itself cannot stand. My concern is not whether God is on our side. My greatest concern is to be on God's side, for God is always right. With malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right. Let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds. The best way to predict the future is to create it. I am not bound to win, but I am bound to be true. I am not bound to succeed, but I am bound to live up to what light I have. You can fool all the people some of the time, and some of the people all the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. Whatever you are, be a good one. I have been driven many times upon my knees by the overwhelming conviction that I had nowhere else to go. My own wisdom and that of all about me seemed insufficient for that day. The probability that we may fail in the struggle ought not to deter us from the support of a cause we believe to be just. I do not think much of a man who is not wiser today than he was yesterday. The best thing about the future is that it comes one day at a time. Character is like a tree and reputation like a shadow. The shadow is what we think of it. The tree is the real thing. Most folks are as happy as they make up their minds to be. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. The ballot is stronger than the bullet. I am a slow walker, but I never walk back. The dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. Those who look for the bad in people will surely find it. I don't know who my grandfather was. I am much more concerned to know what his grandson will be. I will prepare, and someday my chance will come. In giving freedom to the slave, we assure freedom to the free. It is better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak out and remove all doubt. Whatever you are, be a good one. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Things may come to those who wait, but only the things left by those who hustle. I am a firm believer in the people. If given the truth, they can be depended upon to meet any national crisis. The great point is to bring them the real facts. The time comes upon every public man when he should keep his lips closed. I don't like that man. I must get to know him better. Books serve to show a man that those original thoughts of his aren't very new after all. I have never met a man who was not my superior in some particular. You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. I am a success today because I had a friend who believed in me and I didn't have the heart to let him down. Tact is the ability to describe others as they see themselves. I walk slowly, but I never walk backward. The best thing about the future is that it comes one day at a time. The highest art is always the most religious, and the greatest artist is always a devout person. The philosophy of the schoolroom in one generation will be the philosophy of government in the next. The probability that we may fail in the struggle ought not to deter us from the support of a cause we believe to be just. I am not bound to win, but I am bound to be true. I am not bound to succeed, but I am bound to live up to what light I have. My concern is not whether God is on our side. My greatest concern is to be on God's side, for God is always right. I do not think much of a man who is not wiser today than he was yesterday. No man has a good enough memory to be a successful liar. Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves. You can tell the greatness of a man by what makes him angry. I destroy my enemies when I make them my friends. When I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. That's my religion. I am not bound to please thee with my answers. All that I am or ever hope to be, I owe to my angel mother. Whatever you are, be a good one. I never had a policy. I have just tried to do my very best every day. I have always found that mercy bears richer fruits than strict justice. I can make more generals, but horses cost money. You can have anything you want if you want it badly enough. You can be anything you want to be. Do anything you set out to accomplish if you hold to that desire with singleness of purpose. Let no feeling of discouragement prey upon you, and in the end, you are sure to succeed. I am not the smartest fellow in the world, but I can sure pick smart colleagues. I have great respect for the Bible. I have read it through many times. With malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right. Let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds. You have to do your own growing no matter how tall your grandfather was. In this sad world of ours, sorrow comes to all, and it often comes with bitter agony. Perfect relief is not possible, except with time. You cannot now realize that you will ever feel better. Is not this so? And yet it is a mistake. You are sure to be happy again. Knowing this, truly believing it, will make you less miserable now. The struggle of today is not altogether for today, it is for a vast future also. We can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorns have roses. I remember my mother's prayers and they have always followed me. They have clung to me all my life. Folks are usually about as happy as they make their minds up to be. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Every man is said to have his peculiar ambition. Whether it is true or not, I can say for one that I have no other so great as that of being truly esteemed of my fellow men, by rendering myself worthy of their esteem. We shall not fail. If we stand firm, we shall not fail. I am rather inclined to silence, and whether that be wise or not, it is at least more unusual nowadays to find a man who can hold his tongue than to find one who cannot.